Hello everyone. Have you ever bought anything and discovered when it arrived that it doesn't kind of do what you thought it was going to do? Well, that's what happened with this die, or set of die, should I say, from Creative Expressions. I thought when I saw this that bit, just the filigree bit, would be kind of one part, so that it could be just very delicate, but it's not. When I first got the dies, here they are. Whoops, daisy, I'll put that one back there for a moment. As I ever do, I just sort of started to cut out and see what happens, as you saw me do with all the Advent ones. And this one, just by itself, I've got it on a bit of tape here because I did it later with the circle one. This one by itself does that, which is not quite what I thought. So then I tried it with the two circles that come with it, one inside and one outside, and that's what you get, which again is not quite what I thought it was going to be. What I fancied, as I said, was just the filigree bit. So here it is, but it's a little bit of a labour of love, because I actually first started off by getting a smaller circle die, one of these press cut things. Look at me with a nice bit of low tack tape on my arm. But that leaves a nasty line around the outside. So what I had to do was to go round this and cut each little bit individually, which is what that one is. But that is what I was after. That is what I'd got in my mind's eye when I first saw the set. There are these 5 dies within the group. There's this one, which is a background die. And when you cut that one out, this is the bit that gets left. This is just in a piece of copy paper. This is the bit that gets left. And these corner bits are these bits here, which I actually started to snip up again, because what I was wondering was, before I did that, whether I could start with a circle and just put these around, join them around together to make a wreath. Something just dropped on the floor. Here it is. Oh. The whole purpose of all this kind of, you see, what I was thinking of doing, you see, this, I fancy going around an aperture like that on the front of a card, because in the middle, I want to put this. And there's a special reason for that. I think I've said in previous videos that when you get to the age of myself and my friends, we don't need things per se for birthdays. We like to do experiences. And this other friend and myself are going to treat the third girl out of the group to a meal at a restaurant called The Ivy, followed by a show or play or something at the theatre nearby. So that was my idea. I wanted to have the theatre icon and Ivy somewhere. So that was the reason for sending for this particular die. So this was a free download, which I believe is copyright free. We didn't say anything on the website, which I think is a lovely, lovely image. So that was just downloaded off the computer. So I wondered whether I started to cut out this one out of this piece of, this is a download, and I don't know if you can see, but it's terribly blurred. And the reason for that is the fact that I tried to print off this, this was from Pingwing, this sheet of leaves just to use to chop up as backgrounds or whatever. And that was when I discovered that my printer needed more blue ink, because when it first came out, it was just yellow. So I put a new cartridge in, printed the same piece of thing again just to check it was still yellow, discovered I'd got a dud cartridge, telephoned the company, and they sent me a new one, which was lovely. So this went through several times until I actually got a working, it was the blue, is it called cyan, to work. So that's why it's all blurred, but it doesn't matter if I want to cut it up for something like this. So I started to go round and cut out, and this is what I did. I just went round the edge, and as I say, if I cut it with a circle, the edge looked absolutely dreadful. It really looked awful. But if you go with each tendril or with each leaf, it looks really nice. It's just a little bit time consuming. So we're nearly round. I did save you, but so there. And I would have to decide now whether I cut this out with a circle. But if I want this effect, I found which of my press cut dies would make a size where this would be partly stuck on the edge and partly hanging over the aperture. I'm going to have to cut out the inside as well. That was just a tester to see what size I needed for that. I've been playing around all morning, playing silly kids really. But I think what I will do is cut out the inside of this as I cut out that, so that I can put it around this, the image of the comedy and tragedy. And I will add a bit of gold to this to link in with the gold of those masks. So this is what I do. Now, it's awkward to do this because I normally go around this way, but if I go around that way, I can't actually see what I'm doing because it's over the side of the scissors. So I've got to go kind of this way. But it's very, very small. I've got some tiny little scissors here. I need to be able to kind of get in. These haven't, no, they are no good. The ends don't meet. Right, let me try these, the ones I use for, this is what I use for sticky stuff, but they've got a really sharp point. So let's just, once I've got a little hold on the edge, I might be able to get these in. There we go. I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Another little ivy leaf. The little tendrils, they kind of partly go into the middle. You probably think I'm mad for doing this, but I don't know, there's something quite soothing about it, really. Lots of people say they don't like cutting out. I hate the term fussy cutting. It just seems like one of those gimmicky phrases, and I can't bear gimmicky phrases. I suppose you are being fussy in a way, but I just don't like it. It's funny, isn't it? Grumpy old woman, that's me. How does that go? I think that goes like that. And that goes round the other way. Should have done a bit of this one too, shouldn't I, really? Because it's a bit boring for you. But I'd like you to see the effect. I think it's going to work. But this is the way to go, so I can actually see what I'm cutting. The other way, it would be over that side of the scissors, and you know, it wouldn't be so accurate. Left-handers, of course, need to go the other way. Right, we're nearly there. Good-o. There we are. So, you see the effect? Now, if I want to put that onto a card panel, I need to cut it. Let me just get rid of some of this mess. I was thinking, as I say, of making little ones, but these were just trial bits just to see how they would look. And they would look okay to make a wreath. The corner bits, let me just show you. The corner bits here, you can just snip in the middle and you get a bit going that way and a bit going this way. So you can make them go around a circle. That is nice little backdrop. It makes, it's like they're tiny hexagons, like a tiny little honeycomb thing. It's quite sweet. I suppose you could cut it straight and make it into a proper hexagon if you wanted to. All right, now then, where's my, let's get a bit of, here's a piece of card to make a card front. That's my base. There it is, cut and folded. I have some dies here. What size do I want? That is the full size. This is down one. I think we'll come down one. Right, let's cut one of these from this piece of, oops-a-daisy, cardstock. I found that with these dies, as they're quite large, I've had to use shims to get right through. I don't know whether it would be the same if I used new plates, couldn't say, but I found that I did have to use a shim. I've got two different kinds of shim here, which is kind of interesting. This one is much more rigid. This one is thinner, but because it's thinner, it moulds to the die quite readily, and so it's quite good. Although it's not as thick, it is quite good at getting a good cut. This one is, as I say, it's much more rigid and it's not as affected by the dies. But you can see on here, I don't know if you can actually, but there's a honeycomb pattern there, a bit that I had to use once for that. Okay, so here's my card front. Now I want to make a circle aperture in the middle so that my ivy wreath can go around the outside. See, we got there in the end. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do, but I made it. I had a little talk with it on QT. Right, let's get this in the middle. I don't propose having any text whatsoever on the front, just the image. So I'll just tape that down. Is that the middle? Looks okay to me. All right, let's chop this one out. There we go. It just makes your die actually be a bit more versatile, makes it do a few more things than was intended. Right, now that's going to go on there, but first I want to make it a little bit more sympathetic to the gold on here. So let's just have a bit of a clear up. Let the dog see the rabbit. One thing I also did was I thought I'd got a few scraps of this left over, and I thought, well, I can put those over the corners of here and get some more of the green, but that's for another time. I just put those out of the way for the minute, but I want to hang on to those. I think those are going to be useful. Right, you can still see. I'll come in just a little bit while I do this, I think, because I'm just going to be doing a little bit of gilding wax. Just put that up there. Right, are we getting a bit better now? Can we see what we're doing? I'll just come in just a trifle. In. That's better. Turned the right way and it went the wrong way. I don't know. I don't understand my watch, I'm afraid. Right, here's my gilding wax. Quick dab onto the table so I don't get too much, and I think I'll do it lifted so I can be a bit more delicate. It does make a huge difference, this. I'll go around the outside first and then around the inside. But just taking the trouble to go around these tendrils makes all the difference. When I chop, I don't know if I've got one around that I chopped off. Is that one? You see, it's just straight lines. It didn't look as good. It didn't look as good. So I didn't mind just spending a little bit of time snipping away. I do like it. I find it, you know, therapeutic. Some people like colouring. I quite like snipping. There we go. It's hard around the inside. It's a bit much. Ooh, I can feel it. This dries really quickly. If you're not careful on your table or your surface, whatever it is you're using, it will dry quite quickly. And if you want to get it off, you may have to use a bit of spirit, surgical spirit, alcohol or something. There we go. Doesn't that look nice? Look. Gosh, didn't that liven it up? Right, now I will wipe this. Oh, haven't got any in there. Get a new one. I keep wet wipes in this plastic box because one swipe is a bit wasteful, I think, just to use it the once and then throw it out. So I keep it in here and it stops it from drying out. And then when it needs changing, I just throw it. Right, now let's have a look how that looks. Do you see? It looks a lot more closely aligned, doesn't it? Just wondered if it needs to be a bit darker. The black in there is making me think it needs to be just a bit darker. Let me just try. May regret this. I'm going to use some forest moss. Forest moss. Right. It won't stick, of course, to where the gilding wax is, which is great. Oh, better. I love this random colouring. Absolutely love it. Right. Now, let's wipe that again. And I think I might have to just give this a little bit of a whiz with the heat tool just to dry it off. Saw a heat tool advertised today, half price, and I'm sorely tempted. This one's got a bit of a, it's a bit, I don't know what's happened to it really, but oh, I didn't know what to do. I do love a bargain. Oh, isn't that pretty? Do you know, that was worth all the effort. Look at that and look at that. And that's not the effect I wanted because I wanted an aperture through to see that. But see, a little bit of adaptation and it works wonders, doesn't it? So that's going to go there. This is going to go behind. I am going to cut this off and mount it behind the aperture. Which way do I want my card going? Looking at the grain, this is linen weave, silk weave linen from Santiago. So I want it to go in the right direction. Someone said to me today about, you know, using tiny bits of foam tape to go around corners. Well, you can bend it. If you take, they say, if you take the top layer off, let me just do that a minute. No, I'm not going to. I don't like doing it. I tell you why. This is one reason why you get kinks even if you do it without the top on, you still get a bit of a kink. Can you see there? Perhaps get it out a bit. But trying to put it on without the top layer on, that's when you can really bend it. I just get in a pickle. I'd rather just snip and add them straight so that they go on absolutely flat. You don't get any kinks or anything showing through onto the other side, well, the side that shows the important side of the card. So here we are. Am I getting out of shot? Let me try my best. Oh dear. I don't get better for keeping, that's the trouble. Right, here we go. I'm just going to put some around the edge. Why I'm doing it like this, this is a huge thing, and this has been used quite a bit. It's too big to, a bit unwieldy to try and do under the camera. I'll probably knock it for 6. So that's why I'm just putting it on my lap and cutting it out. A bit too long, that was. That's okay. Right, now I'll just take the middle bit off for the moment and add the masks. These restaurants called the Ivy, people in Britain will know them. They are, I don't know if it's a franchise chain or I don't know how it works, but lovely restaurants, lovely food. The last time this bunch of friends whom this card is for one of, when we went with our husbands and things as well, it did happen to be, you know, between quite a few celebrations, birthdays, anniversaries, all this kind of stuff. And they kind of got wind of the waiters got wind of us speaking about it, and we were brought the people who had got a special occasion brought a special dessert. It was lovely. Now this is going to go onto there, and then that is going to go onto there. So the way I'm going to attach this, I'm going to try this time with a glue that I haven't used for a while. Well, I don't know if I've used this particular brand. This is it says it's a 2-in-1 glue pen, no squeezing, new, pump action, photo safe, fine metal nib. So pump action, when I press down, there's a tiny little dot of glue. It shows blue and then it dries clear. So I'm just going to put dots all the way around. Because this is so fine, I can put it onto this these tendrils quite easily. And I'm just using dots. I'm not going too much into the middle because some of that is going to be hanging on to over the aperture. So just dotting around on these tendrils. There's I think Zig do one of these as well, but this one is a Stix 2. This is the same Stix 2 anything. It's the same company as the foam tape that I just used. Parcels just arrived from them. I've got a few more bits and pieces. Some more glue sticks for my hot glue sticks. Is that what they call them? For my my glue gun. And what else did I get? Some clear, something that was on clearance. I thought I'd give it a try. Right, there we go. Now let's lift it up with some tweezers. That is pretty, isn't it? Oh, lovely. Look, isn't that sweet? Whoa, I like that. And I should get the gist without the Ivy restaurant and the theatre. There we go. It's really lovely. Lovely theatre in Chichester. Superb. Chichester Festival Theatre. I went there with my granddaughter on Boxing Day to see The Wind in the Willows. My son and his wife and her other granny. Right, what am I after? This. Just put a little bit of glue stick on here just to prevent sticking where I don't want it to. And we're done. Make sure I've got the card the right way. And there we are. Celebration coming up. And thank you so much for watching.